What's up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at my battles for a change. Did a few shoutcasts and now we're looking at your Truly's battles. Not live on Twitch, just some battles I did off stream. And our first battle is against Castiel Rock. So I don't know if this person watches Game of Thrones, if they watch Supernatural, if they watch both Castiel from Supernatural. If they're a fan of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. There could be so many hidden meanings within that one name. My mind is just blown already. So not a good lead, obviously, against our Obstagoon, especially since we don't have Gunk Shot. So we go into Toxicroak. We're able to sneak a counter through there, which is nice. So we should be able to get to a Sludge, but we're actually just going to let our Toxicroak go and not go down a shield. And then we're going to come in with a Gengar. So that could have been a mistake. Maybe I should have shielded to preserve it. And of course, there's a Snorlax. So to try and survive, we're gonna act like we have a Focus Blast and hopefully get a shield. I do get a shield, then I switch into Goon, and now the Snorlax is switch locked against my Obstagoon, which is pretty nice. But this is still a pretty rough situation. They get our shield on a Body Slam, which is not ideal. Body Slam really wouldn't do that much. The reason I'm going for Night Slash is for boost potential, because I know he's going to get to another move anyway, and this will give me more farm and potentially a chance to take out the Togekiss. I'm definitely going to shield this because I think it might be a superpower, which it is. Superpower would pretty much take me out. I'm hoping this isn't a superpower, but no, it probably is going to be one. And it is. So maybe if I had gone for that cross chop, I wouldn't have had to eat that. In comes a Lapras, and this is pretty much GG's. This is just kind of a team I experimented with and tried out, and I had some success with this set. You'll see I end up going 3-2, but I've had 2 4-1 sets with this team as I got a little bit more practice with it. Back comes our Goon. We landed a Shadow Ball, but Lapras is very tanky. It's a purified Lapras, very interesting. A purified Best Buddy, that's super cool. So shout out to Castiel Rock for the victory over us. That was a kind of spicy Lapras. All right, going into the next game, and really the real weakness with this team is, since I'm running Shadow Ball on Gengar, just because I like Shadow Ball as a move for some reason. I think it's like such a cool move, especially with a Gengar. Is of course Snorlax is just a complete wall to Gengar. So that's the biggest weakness of running Shadow Ball on Gengar and really this team in general. But I mean, I do have two counter users. That can handle Snorlax. So you just have to try and avoid getting matched up with a Snorlax. I get off this cross chop, which is really nice. So this way I win CMP. I take out the Goon, they let it go. I'm thinking I might switch if I don't want to get farmed down. I decide I'm just going to stay in, and I think I end up actually regretting staying in, because I think what happens, if I remember correctly, is I get farmed down here. Yeah, I get Vine Whip down, so I definitely should have switched out in that situation. Definitely. I'm going to come in with Toxicroak, because Toxicroak is tankier and can actually live 2 Frenzy Plants, barely. You see it does less than half. I'm going to eat this next one too. I'm going to put it all on Gengar, because Gengar is very dangerous with energy and shields. I get to this Mud Bomb, which is really nice. And then I'm automatically switch right after this. I get the last shield. I'm deciding if I want to shield this or not, and I figure I'm going to let it go because I have no idea what's in back, and I know I can take it. And there is a Charizard in back, and check how much this Shadow Ball does. And this is the reason you run Shadow Ball, situations like this. Shields down in the back, the Shadow Ball one-shots the Charizard, and then my Shadow Claws take out the Venusaur. So a really nice showcase there for Gengar, and that's like the highs and lows of Gengar, right? Is you can get completely walled by a Snorlax, and then you can sweep the entire back line by just with Gengar alone. So definitely like a high and low level Pokemon, if you know what I mean, like a high ceiling and a low floor based off its usability within a battle. For some reason, my search queue taking a little bit. We're getting matched up against Daniel Vetter here. Daniel Vetter 23. Let's see what you got, Daniel. This is a pretty good lead for us, and we have to maintain this alignment because our backline is so weak to Gallade. So we have to maintain this, and they sneak in a Confusion. That's terrible for a 4-turn move. So they have a big head start on us now. That was 5 Confusion, so they definitely have more than enough for a close combat. And they bait us, so I'm like, okay, this is great. They get one more through, so they're currently at the Leaf Blade. They have one more for a close combat. And I get the boost, so I'm just like, yeah, might as well shield and just counter down. I think I'm down 2 shields, though. Yeah, I'm down 2 shields. In comes Dragonite. And I know, excuse me, I know I can take a Dragon Claw and still get to another Night Slash. So I'm just going to stay in here for now. And I know he's probably going to double shield with my next Night Slash coming. So I'm feeling good about that. I'm able to get this one off. And I get both shields. And then I know I just need to get off this Shadow Punch. And I was kind of keeping track of the moves. So I knew I would beat it here, just barely. I get to it. We actually CMP tied. And this won't take me out quite. The Dragon Breaths will, but this gives me like 1 counter worth of farm unless they switch. And I come in with Toxicroak most likely, yep. And I figure I can hopefully counter down. Oh, and there's an Empoleon. Very nice. I was expecting him to try and sack the Gallade, so I didn't throw my Mud Bomb right away. And then I can throw the Mud Bomb here. Almost takes out Empoleon, and my 2 counters are able to take it out before it gets to a Drill Peck. Good stuff from Tox. Gengar did his part. Goon got the boost. Everyone played a key role in that victory right there. So that was a nice team win from these 3. The Goon and the Ghost putting in some work. And I've really been enjoying my shiny Toxicroak as well this season in the Ultra League. It's been really effective for me. So I encourage you guys to try out Obstagoon. Or sorry, Toxicroak is who I was talking about. But I also encourage Obstagoon. I think Obstagoon is really good. And Gengar is, I think, difficult to use, but when used effectively, it can be really good. I lead against the Venusaur, and I'm like, oh man, my 2 back Pokemon are so good against this thing. So I try and catch, and I don't catch, and of course there's a Shadow Snorlax that meets me, which is so bad for me. So I just bluff like I have a Focus Blast, is what I normally do here, and I go for the Shadow Punch. At least I get a shield. And then I go for the Shadow Ball just because it hits a little harder, but it's double resisted. So obviously having Sludge Bomb or Focus Blast would be a lot better here. But I got the shield anyway, so it's like kind of the same as if I had Focus Blast, to be honest. It's kind of like the same result, is I would like get a shield anyway. Unless I like baited with Punch and somehow still got to a Focus Blast. I don't think I could though, because I barely got to the Shadow Ball. Anyway, I come in with Tox, which is kind of interesting. Man, and we CMP here. And this honestly I think cost me the game, is CMPing here. Oh no, okay, it wasn't CMP, that's great. I get a shield, which is kind of weird. This Frenzy Plant should be barely enough to take me out. But now I'm just in a terrible situation because I can only hit this Venusaur for Night Slashes. And it has some residual energy because it overfarmed in the lead scenario. And my next Night Slash plus the counters won't even take it out, so it might still get to 2 Frenzy Plants here before I can even take it out. And 2 Frenzy Plants, as you see, is more than enough to take me out. So Venusaur causing some issues, unfortunately. If I had, and I think we CMP here. Yeah. Plus I get the low battery notification just for icing on the cake. I think he CMP'd anyway. So if I had switched into Toxicroak, that game could have gone a lot better. But I see that game is like the perfect example of the problem with this team and why you should really never safe swap into Gengar, which I did for some reason. I'm like, what are the chances this time they have a Snorlax as well? And it was like, I don't know, it was like 8 times literally in like 3 sets they had a Snorlax with this team, but I was still able to win most of my games. It was pretty much like if they had a Snorlax to meet my Gengar, I lost, which makes sense. I don't mind this matchup between Obstagoon and Dragonite because you outpace the Dragonite to these Night Slashes, and the counters still chunk. I mean, you see Obstagoon is tanky enough to take that Dragon Claw. And if the Dragonite doesn't shield, I can let my Obstagoon go. I decided to switch aggressively, and now I'm going to shield this, and if the Dragonite stays in, I can farm it down. And the Dragonite does stay in and lets me farm it down. Now I have a ton of energy with a Gengar. In comes a Magnezone. I'm just going straight for the Shadow Ball because I have so much energy. So I can get to 2 Shadow Balls. Boom, I land the first. In comes a Charizard. Now I'm actually going to bait, because now they're like, oh, it's so low, there's no reason I would bait. Plus, I went straight for it last time. I get the shield. Let's go. That allows me to get to another Shadow Punch here. You saw me like wait till the very last second to see just in case I could get to the ball, but I realized I couldn't, so I just go for the punch. Now it's a little tricky. I'm just coming in with Obstagoon to essentially tank this energy. To Dragon Claw, it doesn't even take me out, but it tanks some of the energy there. I have to shield this, and I know the Magnezone doesn't have a ton of energy, and because it was a Dragon Claw, I go straight for the Mud Bomb. Straight for the Mud Bomb. I'm pretty sure he needed one more Fire Spin to get to the Blast Burn. And the Mud Bomb is only single resisted. It's enough to take it out. And the Magnezone was so low that even if it had Wild Charged me, like 1 or 2 counters from Obstagoon would have been enough. So there's a 3-2 set, just kind of your typical stuff. I saw a comment one time that like YouTubers only show the times they win or something. And like, yeah, most of us do, because like those are the most entertaining types of battles, are ones where we're winning and you guys want to see teams that are effective. So I'm not winning all the time. I go positive in this set. So this is like a pretty typical set. I go 3-2 often. I go 4-1 often. I go 2-3 somewhat often. But I do go positive more often than I go negative. So that is the video for you. Hope you guys enjoyed. A cool team, the Goon and the Ghost with shiny Toxicroak in there. If you guys enjoyed this content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.